The oil industry played a crucial role in shaping the 20th century. Some argue we owe a debt of gratitude to the oil and gas industry for creating our modern world, claiming there was no viable alternative. But what if I told you there might have been a different option all along, and its potential was deliberately sabotaged by big oil interests right from the start? In this video, we take a look at the nefarious story of how we wound up with oil as our main source of energy. It's more diabolical than you may have realized, and the accepted mainstream narrative is concealing a fascinating, sinister twist. Here is the accepted timeline for solar. In 1839, French physicist Edmond Becquerel discovered the photovoltaic effect and explained how electricity can be produced from sunlight. In 1883, American inventor Charles Fritts developed the first solar cells with 1% efficiency. In 1954, Bell Laboratories demonstrated the first practical silicon solar cells, which convert sunlight into electrical current with 6% efficiency. In 1964, NASA launched solar panels into outer space. In 1974 and 2006, Congress passed legislation that supported the solar industry. But this timeline is missing the story of George Cove, the Canadian inventor ahead of his time, one of the earliest renewable energy pioneers and entrepreneurs. Imagine household solar panels, much like today's, with a basic battery backup for power during cloudy days. The astonishing part? George Cove made it happen in 1905. Cove's company, the Sun Electric Generator Corporation, was headquartered in New York and was worth $5 million in 1905. That's around $160 million in today's money. By 1909, his groundbreaking solar panel and battery backup concept had captured widespread media fascination and interest. Modern Electric magazine raved about its potential, stating that with just 2 days of sunlight, George Cove's solar and battery device could store enough electrical energy to illuminate an ordinary house for an entire week. The magazine proclaimed that affordable solar energy would break the chains of poverty, providing inexpensive light, heat, and energy, lifting people from the ceaseless struggle for survival. A clean, affordable, renewable energy future. The simplicity of cheap solar power held profound potential, offering not just energy, but a promise of freedom and progress for all. But then, in a shocking turn of events, as reported by the New York Herald on October 19, 1909, George Cove found himself in the hands of kidnappers. How much money did the kidnappers want? Nothing. All George had to do was surrender his groundbreaking solar patent and close down his company. But here's the twist. Cove stood his ground, rejecting the demand for his release. Eventually, he was released near the Bronx Zoo. Unharmed physically, but mentally, it may have been a different story. Because following this incident, Cove's solar venture mysteriously faded away. The intrigue deepens when you consider that in the years leading up to the kidnapping, he had tirelessly refined multiple versions of his solar device, enhancing its capabilities each time. The shadowy figures responsible for the kidnapping of George Cove were never found, while some speculated that Cove himself might have orchestrated the event for publicity. This series seems at odds with his character, especially given the ample media attention already surrounding him and his invention. Another intriguing angle suggests the involvement of a former disgruntled investor. While the exact culprits behind Cove's kidnapping remain elusive, what is known for sure is that oil companies commonly deployed unscrupulous practices towards their competitors to wipe them out. The whodunit deepens because solar technology posed a genuine threat to the oil industry. This clash of technologies is the story about money, greed, and corruption. Enter the era of Standard Oil, led by the world's first billionaire, John D. Rockefeller, who squashed his competition so completely that it compelled the U.S. government to introduce antitrust laws to combat monopolies and ensure fair competition in the industry. It wasn't until Bell Laboratories revived the concept in 1954 that major commercial activities in solar started up again. Meanwhile, coal and oil experienced an unprecedented boom in the 20th century, thanks in large part to taxpayer dollars and government policies that favored the oil industry. The onset of the climate crisis and the constant conflicts over oil had begun. Of all the words of mice and men, the saddest are, it might have been. If you want to learn more about solar and the different options available to you, visit CaliforniaSolarGuide.com. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive our latest videos on solar energy and other solar-related topics.